Hey guys, it's Reading with Audrey, back again with another video, and today we will be reading Chapter 6 of All the Answers by Kate Messner. I hope you guys are enjoying this book, and I hope that you have a fantastic 4th of July. Alright, let's get started. So, in the last chapter of All the Answers, what happens is Ava and her best friend Sophie are at Ava's house, and they're experimenting with the book, trying to find out what its rules are, if it's dangerous, if they should tell anyone. They even find out Mr. Farkley's underwear color that day at school. Isn't that insane that the pencil could do that? Let's see what other insane things that the pencil could do in Chapter 6 of All the Answers by Kate Messner. Let's get right on with the book. Chapter 6. Jason who? When Ava and Sophie opened the door to Anderson's general store, the bells on the handle jingled like always. Ava's dad looked up from the counter where he was writing something in a magic marker. "Hey girls, grab a treat. How was your day?" "Good." Ava tucked her legal pad under one arm and grabbed an atomic fireball from the candy counter. "Hey, Dad?" she asked casually, pulling the blue pencil from her pocket. "Any idea where this came from? It was in the kitchen junk drawer." "I don't know. Maybe from Grandpa's place? Mom and I swept about a year's supply of pens and pencils out from under his radiator when we were cleaning his apartment this summer. But finders keepers, I'd say it's all yours." He went back to his lettering. Sophie stretched a candy bracelet over her wrist and nibbled on one of the beads. "How is your grandpa?" she asked Ava. Ava shrugged. "All right, I guess, but he seems even sadder since he moved. He's had heart problems, so he can't live alone anymore, but I don't think he likes Cedar Bay." Grandpa, Ava's mother's dad, had always been on his own since Grandma Marion died 5 years ago. But now he couldn't take care of himself and hardly ever talked. The doctors weren't sure if he was losing memory or just depressed, but either way, they'd recommend Cedar Bay. Mom had called it a long-term memory care facility. All Ava knew was that it was full of old people who usually seemed like they were somewhere far away in their minds. Ava's dad sighed. "It must be tough giving up life on your own." He put the top back onto a magic marker and stepped back to look at his poster. "What you working on, Mr. Anderson?" Sophie asked. "Something that'll have that superstore wishing it never made plans to open here." Dad held up the sign. "Anderson's General Store, home of the world-famous Mountain Man sandwich." He'd drawn a burly lumberjack next to the words. "What's a Mountain Man sandwich?" Sophie asked. "I'm not sure yet." "How does it get to be world famous?" Ava asked, sucking on her fireball. "Well, hopefully if we say it's famous, other people will catch on and say so too," Dad said. "It's a proven strategy. There's a supermarket in San Francisco that advertises a world-famous turkey sandwich. It's a regular old turkey sandwich, but they slapped world famous in front of it, and bingo!" Dad picked up a red magic marker and underlined world famous on his sign. "Want to help brainstorm sandwich combinations?" "Sure," Ava said. "But not right now," Sophie jumped in. "We better do our homework first." She started for the door, and Ava understood. Sophie wanted pencil time. It was warm for late October, so they went outside and sprawled under a maple tree that was still holding onto a few red leaves. Ava poked around some weeds near the tree. "Think there are any goldenrod galls here? We get extra credit for science if we bring some in by Friday." "How can you be thinking about some nasty bug larva when we have a magic pencil?" Sophie tapped Ava's legal pad. "What should we ask it?" "I don't know." The whole thing was feeling weirder and weirder. Ava looked at the pencil as if it might grow teeth and bite her. "Soph, what if this pencil's cursed or something? What if it wants to be paid for answering questions?" "Paid how?" "What if it wants our firstborn children or our souls or something?" Sophie laughed and made the pencil bounce through the air. "I'm the evil blue pencil," she said in a deep, growly voice, "and I want to suck your blood." "I'm serious. That stuff happens in fairy tales all the time. And remember the story Miss Barnaby talked about in language arts last year? That Faust guy who wanted unlimited knowledge and traded his soul for it? What if this is like that? Sophie bit her lip, but she didn't laugh again. Ava, take a good look. She held up the pencil. It's not going to hurt you. It's just wood and lead and paint. But it can do something amazingly cool. Can you please stop worrying and just enjoy it? Her words echoed in Ava's head. Can you please stop worrying and just enjoy it? Ava had heard those words before, spoken in Dad's voice when she was afraid to try out for all-country band last year. In Graham's voice when she'd splurged on a whale watch on a visit to Boston, and Ava spent the whole trip in the cabin, tightening her life vest and blinking like crazy. In Mom's voice when Ava was too nervous to stay overnight at Sophie's birthday party sleepover just last month. Ava owed Sophie some fun. Okay. Ava took a deep breath and took the pencil. What should we ask it first? Ask it if any boys like you, Sophie grinned. Ava made a face. Ugh, what if it says yes? I'd never be able to look at them again. Ava knew plenty of girls in their class and had crushes on boys, and even boyfriends, if you counted holding hands on the way to lunch. But it seemed like those girls were on the other side of some strange invisible bridge. Sometimes Ava thought Sophie was halfway across. I'll ask it about boys who like you if you want me to. Okay. It seemed like that was what Sophie wanted anyways. So Ava flipped to a new page on her legal pad and started writing. Do any boys like... Hold on! Sophie leaned in, reading over her shoulder. If you say like, it might start listing boys who just sort of like me. Like a friend, instead of boys who like me. So what should I ask? How about... Sophie looked up into the leaves just as one started fluttering down. She caught it, then turned back to Ava. Let's try this. What boys, if any, have romantic-type crushes on Sophie Chaffick? Ava wrote that. The voice gave a slightly disgusted sigh, then rattled off 9 names. Ava tried to write them down, but the voice went too fast. What's it saying? What's it saying? Sophie was bouncing. Hold on! Ava held up her hand, then finished writing. I didn't catch them all. I've got Robbie Henderson. You knew that, right? Sophie nodded. Who else? Craig Thomas, Jake Phillips, Howard Filion. Ew! Sophie recoiled. He picks his nose in social studies. Ava laughed. Apparently, he's thinking about you the whole time. Sophie fell over backward and kicked her legs in the air dramatically a few times, then popped back up. Who else? Sean Gearstein. Ava looked down at the page. And Jason somebody? His name was too long, and I'd never heard of it. Sophie's mouth fell open. Jason Marzigalano? Oh my gosh. Tell me it's Jason Marzigalano. Soph, you're drooling. I'm not sure. Ask the pencil to repeat it. Sophie gestured toward the notebook. If it's Jason Marzigalano, I'm going to flip. Literally. So, Ava wrote, could you please repeat the full name of the boy named Jason who has a crush on Sophie Chaffick? The voice sighed again, then enunciated every word. Jason Randolph Marzigliano. Well, Sophie was leaning so close, Ava could smell the candy bracelet on her breath. It's him, Ava said, then couldn't help adding with a giggle. And his middle name is Randolph. Jason Randolph Marzigliano. Who is he? But by then, Sophie had flipped, literally. She'd taken off running across the green and done a round-off back handspring. Then she plopped back down next to Ava. Jason Marzigliano is that new kid who moved here from California with the sort of shaggy brown hair. He does gymnastics, and he's unbelievably cute, and I just cannot believe this. She bit 2 more beads off her candy bracelet. Ava laughed. She had to admit this pencil was kind of fun. Let me try. Are you going to ask which boys like you? No! Ava tapped the pencil on her palm. She didn't want to know about boys, but she couldn't think of anything else that seemed pencil-worthy. Maybe I'll ask it, What's for lunch in the school cafeteria next week? Ava, that's the most boringest question ever. Go on the website if you want to know when Meatloaf Day is. Ask it what Katina D is doing right now, this very second. Oh, that's good. Ava started writing. It'll probably say she's in the recording studio, or shopping for red cowboy boots, or kissing her bass player in the rain. Sophie squealed. Ava finished the question and held up her hand for Sophie to be quiet. Right now, the pencil voice said. Katina D is taking a nap. Ava told Sophie, who let out a frustrated sigh. Well, that's not going to make any headlines. Ask her what she did last night. Ava asked and listened. Oh, this is better. She went to dinner at some fancy French restaurant with Michael Jupiter. He's a singer too, isn't he? A singer? He has the #1 song on iTunes right now. And Sophie jumped the ground with both hands. He's supposed to be going out with Tiffany Whittinger, the actress. This is awesome. It's a scandal. Sophie got up and started pacing around the tree. Oh my gosh, we should call one of those supermarket magazines with all the celebrity news and tell them. They'll do one of those splashy headlines with a photo on the front page and we'll be famous. Soph? Ava held up the pencil. Slow down. We don't have a photo or anything else for proof. I don't think they'd be impressed if we said our magic pencil told us. Sophie plopped back down on the grass. Her excited ideas got the rest of her brain sometimes. Good point, but it's still fun for us to know. Ask it other stuff about her. So, Ava asked the pencil what Katina D had for dinner. Escargot and steamed salmon with asparagus. No one else knew about the date. No one. But that's going to change tomorrow because a waiter with a cell phone took their picture. And whether Michael Jupiter kissed her goodnight. Yes. Yes. Twice. The voice did not sound excited about this, but Sophie and Ava collapsed into helpless giggles. It's like we have a secret spy camera on the whole world, Sophie said when she caught her breath. This pencil is the best thing that has happened to anyone ever. It really is. Ava flopped onto her back in the grass and looked up at the sun shining through the maple leaves. She had so many ideas for what to ask the pencil now. Where Katina D bought the cool earrings she'd worn in the Wash the World Away video. What she liked to eat for dessert. What her favorite color was. What Michael Jupiter's favorite color was. What anybody's favorite anything was. You got all quiet. Sophie leaned up on her elbow to look at Ava. You're not worried about the pencil wanting your firstborn child again, are you? Nope, Ava said, grinning. I was just thinking about all the things we need to ask it tomorrow. Sophie nodded. We should make a list. Ava, Mom says dinner's ready at the house, Marcus called from the store entrance. Ava stood up and brushed off her jeans. You make a list at home tonight, and I'll make one too. Perfect. Sophie hugged Ava and took off, cartwheeling over the lawn in the direction of her house. Ava walked home and thought about what else she wanted to ask the pencil. She could ask anything, about anybody. Secrets about Hollywood stars, her favorite authors, her friends, her family. It was going to be a seriously long list. Alright guys, that is the end of chapter 6 of All the Answers by Kate Messner. This chapter was pretty interesting. It was about a recap of the chapter. In this chapter, Ava and Sophie just asked it some interesting questions, did some experimenting, and Sophie helped Ava calm down from a little bit of a breakdown she had worrying about the pencil. And finally, Sophie convinced Ava that everything was okay, and now they're headed off home to go make a list. We'll find out in chapter 7 of All the Answers by Kate Messner what's on the list. Who knows? I don't know. I'm interested to find out. Are you? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great 4th of July.